they're big now. Now they're in college. But at the time they were small, and they didn't care that I was in a wheelchair. They were just like, let's go. Because I used to pick them up and I'd throw them in the pool, or we'd go bike riding and stuff like that. And to them, they were like, they realized that, they kind of realized something was really wrong, but then they're kids, right? They're little kids. And they were just like, well, we can play with that too. That's their mentality. We can play with that too. So they'd be like, Uncle Tom, can I have a ride? Can I have a ride? And so I'd have like my niece and my nephew on my knees, and we'd go for rides. And they're laughing and screaming, and they're just having this great old time. And I'm like, all right, if I actually did grab the gun and shoot myself, I could never forgive myself. Because these two kids don't care at all. And actually I've got 9 nieces and nephews. They don't care at all. They just want Uncle Tom to play. So this is what turned me around. This is what made me feel like, all right, I'm not going to shoot myself. I'm not going to look for a way to kill myself, because they would be devastated and I couldn't do that to them. And slowly, things like this brought me around, so that I started feeling good about myself again. The psychiatrist taught me this lesson that is so important. And anytime you come across someone who's had a catastrophic injury, loss of a limb, an eye poked out, something like this, their depression gets so high, okay, or we can say so low, right? Lower than they've ever experienced before, lower to the point where they're ready to take their lives. Then they start feeling better, right? The next time something even small happens, small thing bad happens, boom, they go right down to that basement. They go right down to the point where they never knew it was there before, but now that you know that point, every time the smallest thing that goes bad, boom, you're right down there again. I want to kill myself. Okay, you don't go, oh, geez, I cut myself. I think I need a Band-Aid. You go, fuck, I want to kill myself. Okay? So this is something you have to be aware of when you're dealing with people that have these traumatic injuries, is that they bend down this low thing. So you making light of it does not help. You saying, all right, let's look at what happened here. Let's evaluate this in the scheme of how difficult. Is it as bad as breaking your back? This cut you have on your arm? No, it's not. So maybe we'll just fix it and it'll be better. And this lesson was the most important lesson in my recovery, because I realized after I came back, I got a job. I was working with the sports company Adidas. And I remember one time when I was at Adidas, I had one of these incidents where I crapped my pants at work. And immediately I went, boom, right down to the basement again. And I was like, how can I, oh my God, I've got a job and I'm screwing it up. I'm never going to be able to live like a normal person. This is worthless. This is a bad idea. I should just, and I had to think of what the psychiatrist told me. It's not that bad of a deal. Go to the shower, clean up, and go back to your desk and go to work. So, this is what's really important with any of these traumatic injuries. Depression level goes way, way down very, very quickly, and it's very fixable if it's addressed. If they don't know that this is the situation, people will stay down in this depressed level for a long time. They won't come out, and they'll eventually take action on it. Depression is a very real part of one of these injuries. All right, let's see if, we'll go slower. See where we're at here. These are big issues with spinal cord injury, and they're bigger here than they are in the States. The States right now, we've got an Americans with Disability Act. It's very powerful. People can sue. It's in the smallest, even bars and restaurants now have to change their all their makeup to have an accessible bathroom, to have ramps instead of stairs. In Ghana, is there a Disability Act? Yes! As of last year, the Ghanans with Disability Act is in place. It is a real thing. You can actually take someone to court. Whether the judge will hear you or whether he'll get paid off by a developer who says, I'm not putting elevators in that building, is another situation. But what this does is this will actually tell the developers to rebuild something is really expensive, okay? To build it correctly is the same price, okay? Instead of having stairs, if you build one section where there's a ramp, it costs the same, if not less than stairs, and all of a sudden you've made it accessible not to people in wheelchairs, to mothers who push babies, right? To, you know, people with canes, to the delivery man who's delivering something on wheels. Every time someone builds these ramps, they're used constantly. People just have minor mobility, you know, just a little problem with their hip. There's lots of these people out there, and they will use the ramps. Here's a pretty stunning fact. Out of all of you, how many people do we have in this classroom? We have ballpark at 80. We have 80 people in here, something like that. How many of you, through the course of your life, will become disabled? Take a guess.
All of us.
50? 50? 70 of you. 70 of you will be disabled. And it's because, oddly enough, it's because of the profession you've chosen. You are creating disabled people. And why are you creating disabled people? Because people are living longer. People are living longer, and as you live longer, the aging population becomes almost 90% disabled to some extent. Whether it's the eyes, the hearing, or mobility, there's a disability in almost in 85, depending on the country, 85 to 90% of your elderly population is going to be disabled. So you look at this room, and which of the 10 of you are not going to be disabled? That means all of you, right? So these things that we're trying to get the government to change, it's not for people in wheelchairs.